Planting the cane and all right on through.
Yeah. Starting even that big farther in the beginning.
Well, you got plant your cane. Of course, now they don't hoe it like we used to. We used to have to hoe it and all, but had to hoe it. Then when you got it made, you had to fodder it. Then cut the heads off, cut the cane, haul it to the mill, then grind it. And that's what took the time, that grinding and getting it ready. You might tell us something more than I know about it.
And once it's ground, what happens?
Well, that's when you got to cook it then. Of course, some of them use evaporator. We all use a pan. And like now this year, I don't know, but most time when it's a wet season, it takes longer to cook it down. There's more water in it. That's about a 3 or 4 hour job, cooking a run.
As they're cooking it, what exactly do they do?
Well, you got to skim it, keep all them green skimmings took off. And when they get about done, you got to watch, keep from burning them, you know. They'll stick to the pan lots of times. Of course, the evaporator, you don't have to set them off like the pan, like we did.
I'm not getting audio.
You're not?
No.
Oh, good. We're going to do this all over again.
No.
What's wrong?
Did you use a clip mic when you were talking about
Well, when we made our molasses, we got to first start out and get your ground ready and plant the cane. Then you got to work that out. The fall comes foddering time. And that's when you have to strip all, some call it blades, all the blades from the top to the bottom off. Then you got to cut the heads off. Then you haul it to the mill. Then you got to grind the juice out. And build a furnace, have a furnace built. Big pan sets on that. Some use evaporator. We all just use the pan. And cooking about 4 hours. Takes about 4 hours to cook them off. Keeps too busy skimming about all the time. You're making too busy. Then when you get them cooked off, why, we always set them off the furnace. Then take the molasses off.
Who made your furnace? The one that we saw over at Claude Howard's house, and what's it made out of?
They made that one.
Okay.
We made this one out here. Me and my father made this one out here.
Okay, what's it made out of?
Stone and mud, rock, what some call it just rock, mud.
And does someone how does someone feed the furnace with wood, or how is that kept going?
Wood. But I think they made theirs with gas up there last year. But we always use wood. Usually get that up in the summer and stack it up around the mill, have it good and dry, you know, when the time comes to make molasses, already have the wood.
Do you have any good memories about molasses making that come to mind when you think about it?
Yeah, a lot of them. Lord, we used to, back when I was a boy, we'd go neighbors' houses, about everybody around made them then. We'd go and play on the cane pile, stalks they call it. And
There's something you didn't tell them
what was that?
about getting it in the dirt and strain it so there'd be no dirt or grit in it.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to be careful when you go cutting it and all. If you let it touch the dirt or anything, then you'll get grit in your molasses.
If you're cutting a cane?
If it touches the dirt, we always watch about that and not let the ends get in the dirt. Then, of course, strain the juice off. We usually strain it about 3 times to be sure we got all that stuff out of it.
once the molasses is made, what are some of your memories about what do you do with the molasses once it's made?
Well, most people used to eat them, but they'd make gingerbread out of them and stuff like that and use them to bake with. But back then, you couldn't go to the store and buy a lot of stuff, and we eat a lot of them back then. Biscuits and butter and molasses for breakfast. That's what we'd have. Then they used to have candy puddings too. People gather in and they'd have a candy pudding.
And to sell molasses, how does that usually work? Would they put it in, and how much do they sell it for?
Well, they used to put them in buckets, but they quit that. The buckets will rust. We all got to put ours in fruit jars, quarts and half a gallon and gallon jugs. I don't remember what the last ones we sold brought to you. $12 a gallon, $10 or $12 a gallon we've got for our last one we made. So I don't know what they're selling for now, but I believe the Mennonites, for 12 we give, $3 a quart. I think $3 a quart, I believe, is what we gave for them.
And that molasses, oh, go ahead.
There's a lot of work to it, I can tell you that now. A lot of people I know used to stop out here and we was a mech and tell them the price of them, they'd get in the car and go on. Think that's too much. But they had to work with them while they'd change their mind.
But how long does it take? The whole process, how long does it take?
What do you mean?
If you'll start after you cut the cane down and go on, how long does it take to make it?
Grind it.
Well, back when you used horses and mules, it usually would get up about take 4 or 5 hours to get a run ground out, you know. Then about 4 hours, it'd take about 9 or 10 hours to make one run where you used a horse or mule.
That's to have all the cane cut and
Ready.
and then grind it and cook it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
Well, I was having it at the mill. That wasn't count taking it to the mill. That's just after you got it to the mill now.
About the most you'd make at a run was 16 gallons, wasn't it?
Yeah, around 15 to 16. Most time about 12, between 12 and 15 gallons a run.
What do you remember about Yellow Jackets?
Oh, there's plenty of them used to be. But this year I've not seen many this round. Of course, we ain't made no molasses, but usually apples or anything you can't. Oh, I've seen them around the cane mill. You go strain that juice, you had to watch.
They get in the pan too, the molasses. You have to keep them dipped out.
Now about everybody screens their building. They're supposed to have them screened in, you know, so the bugs can't get in there. Well, Grandpa's dad used to make them.
Yeah, I don't remember him.
I don't either. I don't remember him. I heard him tell about making them, you know. Of course, now it don't take near as long right now to make them as it used to. See, they got power mills now. You use this tractor and belts and things. It's a lot faster than it used to be.
Don't take near as long with the tractors as it did with the
Last
horse or mule.
ones we made, we made 2 runs in daylight with a tractor, you know, grinding your juice and all. Lord, where you made with a horse, you was way after dark of getting your second run off.
Get started very early.
You think anything else you remember?
They used to save that back when I was a little boy and all, to save that to feed the cattle and horse and things on. But anymore, they don't even save the fodder. We used to save that, tie that up in bundles and all, and let it cure and carry it and put it in the barn.
You save the heads too.
Yeah,
You
well,
make feed with them, or you save some to plant, you know, the next year. But you can also put them in feed.
I might plant me a little patch this coming year if I can find me some seed.
That'd be great.
I'll have to make another pan.
Maybe we can find you, if you,
No, I don't. I noticed didn't Claude say that around 70 or 75 gallons an acre? We never did. We usually just plant, maybe from a quarter to half acres. We didn't plant a lot of them, just enough for 2 or 3 runs, what we usually made.
And some years there's more juice than there are others.
But we hardly ever had any left over. We could have sold more if we'd had them. People, Lord, they begged for molasses. Since you put that in the paper, I don't know how many calls we have had already. Yeah.
Thought we had some this year.
One called here last Sunday, and just as soon as I hung the receiver down, it went to ringing, and another one called.
Some of them call from
Coalfield.
Coalfield.
There's sandy ground.
Sandy soil.
And we made some here for, well, it used to be our neighbors back over here. They're both dead now. Lord, they're just as clear as any honey you ever seen.
Real light.
Light, just light.
There's difference in the soil.
Yeah. And there's different in some of the cane, too.
what are those?
Now, this year cane, like feed cane, they call that, a lot of them call that blackstrap molasses, you know.
Makes them dark.
Makes them, they'll be black as tar.
We had the honey drip, I guess, one year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Seed.
Yeah.
It made pretty molasses. And then there's a little orange. It makes good molasses.
That's what Dad always liked, the orange cane.
There was Christmas cane too, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm. Claude used to plant the Christmas
Yeah,
cane.
it made good molasses.
We used to always save our own seed from year to year, keep our
The
seed.
kind you like.
But,
One year I ordered from a seed company.
yeah.
I believe it's Shunway. I believe was the name of it. That was that honey drip.
Well, I believe the last one Dad got, he got them out of Kentucky, the orange cane. Her brother goes up there. It's the oil well place up there. And I'm going to see him when he goes up there, see if that man still raises them up there like he did. He used to plant every year.
Seed,
See if I can get some seed.
How do you save the seed? I mean, are you cutting the heads and saving the heads for the seed?
Mm-hmm. Just
the best ones.
lay them up and let them dry. Then usually beat them out in a barrel or something, buckets, you know, and put them away for the winter. A lot of people just leaves the head, just ties them up in a bunch and hangs them up to where the birds and things, you know, can't get to them if they got a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, mice, they'll eat them.
Okay, we've been making molasses well, ever since I was a little bitty girl. I'm 52 now, so I'd be safe in saying 45 years anyway. And we lived at a different place, and we made an old-fashioned molasses. It was called a honey drip. And we lost out on the seed of that, so what we're doing this year, we found some seed we think's the honey drip. We hope it is. We've got some of that, and this run we're making today is the honey drip, if that's the old-fashioned honey drip. So we made molasses back then just to use for sweetening, more or less. People was poor around this area, and my dad coal mine, moonshine, all that good stuff. So it was a thing that was a staple for us. We raised our own food, most of it, and it was a staple for us. And it was kind of a way of life. Everybody made molasses. And how come us to lose out on the seed of the thing? We had a neighbor that had a patch, and he'd planted his late, and Dad had planted his early, and the seed got ripe, and we were ready to make molasses. So back then you sold your seed for like $100. I mean, 100 pounds for $1 or something like that. You know, not much money, but that was big money then. When he worked for $1 a day, that was And it went for animal feed and seed and so on. So he sold all his seed. And then the neighbor, his got frosted on. So he had to turn in and make up all his molasses, and we didn't get his seed. The seed was all gone, and it already got rid of all the seed. He couldn't locate them, so we lost out. No one had that seed, that particular kind. And it was a mild flavored molasses. It was kind of, it wasn't as mild as corn syrup, but it was real mild. You could eat it like every day and it wouldn't hurt you. It wasn't strong. So anyway, we made molasses every year, and we had my mother's family had a lot of girls, and they all came over, the sisters came over and helped make molasses. They came over the mountain. We live about 6 miles from here. And they walked over and helped us make molasses. And one day they was boiling off a pan of molasses, and one of them had gone to the house and cooked dinner. So they said, well, we think the fire's okay, it's burning low, and it won't be ready to come off till we go to the house and eat. So they all went to the house and ate lunch, and when they got back, it had made candy. It was so thick you could barely get it out of the pan with a spoon. And my aunt ate so much of that, it was so good that she got sick and never could eat molasses again. So we just, it's a fun thing now, more or less. You never get out of, if you sell them, you never get out of it what you have got into it. And you start in the springtime as early as possible because you want it to come off before frost time, and it does take a long time to grow. This year it's rained so much, we've not had much sun, and this should have been ready a couple weeks ago. This run today is just barely ready to make. It will make molasses, but it should have been riper, really. You start in the springtime. I think we planted these in May, about the first part of May. And plant your little seed. Ours was a little bit too thick this year. You plant like 2 or 3 seeds in a hill foot apart. And we sprayed it to keep the weeds down. We used to have to chop it out of the hole, but now it's better because you spray it. And once the cane gets to the right stage, you have to strip all the fodder off of it, which is the long leaves on it. And we do it standing in the field, or you can cut it down and put it in piles and set in the shade and grab a whole handful and jerk all the leaves off of it by handfuls and cut the heads off. But we did this today by cutting the heads after we'd stripped it in the field. And once you get all that done, you've got to take it to the mill and hook your old mule to the mill, which turns the rollers in the mill, and start feeding the stalks through it, which crushes the stalks. And the juice runs out in a little trough, and it comes out into a tub, and you strain it as it goes into the tub. You put a cloth over the top, usually a burlap bag's what we usually use. And after you get the tub about full, you take it out of that, pour it through a muslin bag of some kind. We used to have bran sacks. It was real good for that. But we don't have any cows anymore. We don't have any bran, so we don't have any sacks. So I bought muslin to make a bag, and we'll strain it through that, and we'll put that in the pan and pour the juice right into the bag in the pan. And you just lift it out real carefully, and so if there's anything that fell in it, it's still in the bag. And you cook and cook, and build a good fire under it, and start boiling it. And it starts raising the green foam on the top of the molasses. At that point, it's juice. But you got the little skimmers. They're handmade. They're a piece of metal with holes in them, punched with a nail. And you dip the foam part off, and any debris or any little bits that we missed in the straining will come up to the top. If a yellow jacket falls in, it comes to the top too, so you get it all. And after you've boiled it a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours, it starts turning yellow. The foam will start turning yellow. And after you've made a few runs, anybody that's skilled in molasses making, you know when it gets good to eat. So you start dipping off some for the kids, especially around, to start sampling the foam off the top. And after it gets yellow, it's not too long till you start testing it. And I've got an old-fashioned water dipper that I pour a little in and set it in a pail of water to cool it. And I take my finger and run around in it and drip some off to see how thick it is. Some people likes real thin molasses, some thick that you have to almost dig out of the jar. I like mine kind of medium. And once you get it the right stage, why immediately you set the pan off the furnace and prop it up and let it all pour down to the bottom. Then you take the skimmer and you scoop it'll have lots of foam then, big yellow thick foam on it. You dip all that and pour it to the back of the pan where it sticks, and that's where everybody gathers in and starts eating. They call it sopping the pan. Get your little stick of cane about like that, about the size of your finger, and you chew the end of it and sop in that, and that's what makes it good. It wouldn't be good with a spoon. So you sop the pan with that. And of course you have to let them cool some. We put it out, strain it again. You strain it through cheesecloth this time. You always do all this process to be sure there's nothing in it. Then you strain it out into a lard can, and usually the next day is when you put it up into jugs and sell it. Sometimes we have people that, you know, they beg for a jug or a jar. Oh, we got to have some take home, some hot molasses, so you sell them or give, whatever. We give people that helps us. Usually we try to pace out a quart around, you know, and probably today, we'll be lucky if we make 2 or 3 gallons today out of this run. It takes a lot of juice to make molasses. It boils away. I don't know how much it does boil away, but I know it takes about 2 tubs of molasses to make about 4 gallons. 2 wash tubs, and that's one of the big tubs. So it takes a lot of juice. So, is there any questions about
Say, what, man?
What are you?
So I got mule hair all over my mask here trying to get that mule across the bridge.
Johnny? John?
What?
Come back.
What?
Look her back. Too close. He said too far away or something.
Look at it, that inside chain needs tightened up there.
The inside chain?
Good.
Oh!
Oh, it won't.
Thousands of them. Hang it, Paul.
Won't you get on that thing and ride it, Tap?
Come here.
Go on. Come on.
He thought she was going to stop it.
Get the pilcher now. She's hooked too long here. Doing that, ain't she?
Good job, Neil.
She's a doing that. Huh? Say she's a doing that thing, ain't she? Yeah. Come up. Don't say a word, boy. She's a going, don't say it.
Is this ready to sit on this there? Pan. When you get it clean, it goes over all the furnace.
What are you making? One to water?
No, making juice, son.
It'll be water before you get made, though.
Now, do you all have to lay out every time I lay out of school?
They wouldn't feed me, and I come tap.
Oh, is that right? Well, I'll tell that when I go back.
Come on,
Nothing or two, and I'll shut it down.
you go to leading that mule, you'll find yourself a leader all the way around. Let you go.
Well, they have.
You're dandy.
Good job. Go on.
Oh, he's good. He will. Hey, this is Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Hey,